So here I am in Cricut Design Space. I've just made a white background for my Cricut sticker sheet, and then I will highlight this and then right click and then press attach. Now I will go over to this end and press duplicate about 3 more times, and then I press make it. At this stage I'm not going to use the gloss white vinyl or the transparent glossy vinyl to do the first cut, because I'm not sure if there are any mistakes that I've made on the Cricut Design Space. So what I usually do is I test with the matte white paper, which is much cheaper to trial with. So first I will try and see if I've got the cut correct. So now I've loaded up the matte white sticker sheet in my Epson printer. I've selected the setting to matte paper, A4 size, and now I'm going to press continue on the Cricut Design Space. Here it says center printer, so now Epson is going to print out the sticker sheet. So let's cut this out now using the Cricut and then see if it cuts properly around all the elements. Right, so we can see they've all cut up quite well. So that's a nice cut. I selected the halfway point between the paper and vinyl setting on the Cricut. I love the way these watercolors have turned out. It really does look like watercolors. Also, I'm really liking this brand of the pastel watercolor that I used for this. I'm going to now make the elements a little bit bigger and then print them out on the glossy white vinyl and the transparent glossy vinyl. So we're now back to Design Space. I will delete these. And I will press right click and go detach, and now try to make the elements a little bit bigger. If you saw my last video, you will have seen me explain that because the Cricut can't scan the black outline on the gloss vinyl sheets, I get around this by using masking tape and then going over the black line with a permanent marker. I keep the lid shut as well so that the scanner doesn't have any problems reading the outlines, because usually if it's very bright in the room it can cut your stickers off center. So here it's scanning the black outline. Didn't work the first time. Maybe the lines weren't thick enough. Let's try again. Now I just realized that I didn't actually change the dial to vinyl, so I'm pretty sure it hasn't cut all the way through. You'll see these kind of sort of dust over it. That's just the machine cutting through the vinyl sticker sheet. So I'm going to feed it back in and it will do the same cut. This time I'm going to change the dial to in between vinyl and iron-on. This is a problem I've been having with the Cricut stickers. They cut off center. I have used the calibration to align it, but I seem to have a problem with getting a perfect centered cut with the Cricut stickers. Yeah, I've lined it up exactly along as close to the top and to the left side as possible. I'm hoping this will eliminate that off-centered cut. So I'm going to feed it as left as possible to the machine, the left side of the machine, and hopefully the darkness will help to get a more centered cut. It works with the curtains shut. This is with bleed, this is without bleed, so it's probably not going to cut centered. If you shift sometimes the sticker sheet slightly to the left or to the right and then go back to do another cut, it usually doesn't cut off center, so that could be another solution, just to wriggle it a bit to the left or a bit to the right. And it seems to be cutting centered now.
I don't think the channel was a failure, it was a stepping stone to success. My question is, are you committed? Would you be willing to build a channel, even the channel you're building right now? Go, oh, that's going to be the move, that's going to be the thing that works. And how did you even get those insights? Because you were studying, because you were grinding, because you were at the YouTube challenge, because iron sharpens iron, and you learned some stuff here, and you experimented here, and you practiced over here, but you didn't quit.
This is how I do my kiss cut stickers. When we want to get perfect cuts that are centered, then we need to choose with bleed, close the curtains and make sure that there is no light in the room. You cut without bleed, it will be off center. In my last video I said that my Canon produced quite grainy results, but in this sticker I can see that there is no grainy effect. It really does bring out that watercolor effect. I hope the message that you take away from this is that there is a lot of trial and error involved when you're trying to make stickers. Just keep trying until you're happy with or closest to what you are happy with, and minimize wastage wherever you are able to. Most people that you will find, they've had a lot of struggles before they get the perfect centered cut, before they get the perfect rendering with the printer, and they've got all the settings correct. You don't really need expensive software and editing tools to make stickers. You can start with just very basic materials. Most of the supplies I already had at home, my watercolor paper, my watercolor paint set, and the Evergreen Goods matte white sticker sheet and the glossy vinyl sheets. If you're starting out, you can get started with whatever you have. Also, you don't need to buy any expensive cutting machines if you're only just beginning, because you can cut stickers out by hand using a knife like this. I'm learning new things about my machine. I wouldn't say I've completely figured it all out. Sometimes I do stumble across problems and I'm able to figure them out. Other times I just have to settle with what I have. I keep my machine well out of sunlight when I'm using it, and just try and darken up the space around it to make sure that when it's scanning, it's able to read the lines without any direct light hitting it. Do you have any problems with getting a perfect centered cut? Because you might need to calibrate your machine. It's very simple. If you don't have a machine and you are thinking of buying a Cricut, I would say do a lot of your own research and look into it and see what you're happy with and what you're comfortable with. Because the reason why I didn't go for the Silhouette Cameo, I believe, is because I thought that I would find it easier to work with the Cricut. So from the left, I made the matte sticker sheet with the Canon printer and the matte die cut. The cut came out too close to the right of the image because I didn't choose with bleed. This was done without bleed. This is the glossy white vinyl sheet, and the die cut is the same. If you have more than one printer, then you'll have to play around and see which one gives you the truer or closer result to the art that you are trying to produce. Also, I found it was a problem when it came to scanning my original art. The Canon didn't do a very good job at scanning at 600 dpi, but the Epson did a very good job of scanning the image at 300 dpi. I usually use the Canon scanner for most art and I don't have a problem, but with this project, like, it did not recognize the edges of the flowers. It just picked up all the dark colours in the middle. But when I scanned it with the Epson, it picked up the entire image. Also, you might be wondering, what do I do with all the wasted paper after cutting my die cuts? So this is what I do for now. I cut the matte stickers into circles to seal envelopes and boxes. What you do is just put them on like this, and this is sturdy and strong enough to remain. If so long as you have something flat in the box, then this will not come off, it will remain like that. And with these glossy paper, these you cannot cut with this because it won't cut through. I'll just quickly show you. It won't cut. Doesn't matter how hard you try, it's just that when I cut it, it becomes like this. It just makes little incisions, but it doesn't cut. So what I usually do is I strip them down, and then I put my watercolor paper, if I need to attach my watercolor paper to a board or something to do washes, then the part of the watercolor paper that I'll be chopping off anyway, I usually use this to stick it down because it's quite tough, and also because it's waterproof, you can do your watercolor washes on the paper, and that's the best use I've found for the glossy white vinyl.